good, Boom Crew? This is your girl Annie Boom Fanny, and this is an update on the Mr. Cancer situation that I was in. Sorry guys, I keep looking at my teeth. They look so fucking yellow. When you wear pink lipstick or this type color pink, it kind of makes your teeth look really yellow. Anyways, today is Tuesday, the 28th. I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload this video, but anyway, let me tell you about Mr. Cancer. So here's a backstory before I get to the current situation. Sorry y'all, hold on. A fucking fire truck. Mr. Cancer and I first started communicating from the one and only POF, right? Mr. Cancer was not one of the first, but he was kind of like when I was new to POF. I've had POF for a minute. I deleted it and then I'll get it back again, or I just won't use it. Like I won't never take the shit off my phone, and if I feel the need to be entertained, then I use the app. So Mr. Cancer and I started talking a while back, and what we would do is we would video chat, we'd have good conversation or whatever. But the reason why it never really went anywhere, because there was a couple of times we were supposed to meet up in person and he flaked. Like that day would come and he wouldn't pick up his phone. These are all red flags, y'all. That day will come, he wouldn't pick up the phone. Yeah, that's basically what would happen. He wouldn't pick up the phone the day that we were supposed to meet up. So he had done that on 2 separate occasions. Like we would talk, plan to meet up, he'll flake, we'll stop contacting each other, he'll slither his way back up into somebody's inbox, we'll talk again, and then he did it again. That was 2 times. So I had recently, a few months ago, saw him on YouTube. I saw him on YouTube, and he was on a crime investigation channel, not because he was a criminal, but because a tragedy happened in his family to somebody really close to him. I'm not going to go into detail. I think that's a bit too much. But that one of the things that happened to him is one of the reasons that I kind of had a soft spot in my heart for him. I don't know, I was very empathetic to I was trying to be very empathetic to the situation or whatever. So that's kind of why, I don't know if that was one of the reasons why I always kind of would talk to him again or something like that, but I think that's partially the reason. So this time around, I saw him on that crime show, and I had left a comment, but I don't think he saw it because a lot of people was commenting, right? And coincidentally, not too long after that, he hits me up. I can't remember if he hit me up on POF or on one of the apps. I think it was like on POF. So we start talking again, and when we start talking again, that's when I had I think I was working at, I was like 2 months in or so, no, probably, yeah, I think 2 months in or so of working at construction job that I had. So I'm saying all of that to say this: when I would get up in the morning, I was getting up like at 4 o'clock in the morning, because I worked over in Staten Island and I don't drive, and I needed to make it to that job. That job was a well-paying job. He is a correction officer. So our hours, I don't know if you ever dated or know, or if you are a correctional officer, you know your hours can be kind of crazy sometimes. So he would be up early in the morning and I would be up, and that would be the time that him and I would use to talk. Like it took me a long time to get to Staten Island. He'd be on the phone with me. It would be like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll be a little shaky about, leaving my house around that time. He'd be on the phone with me, chatting it up. So this time around, I felt as though, okay, maybe he did mature a little bit. Maybe, he did get better with his communications or whatever. Because he was, honestly, we were talking all throughout the day. So fast forward, I had was it? Yeah, fast forward, I had lost my job. The day that I lost my job, I wasn't too bent out of shape about it. I'm like one of the people, things hit me later. I was kind of, holding it together. And I think it was like a couple of days later where I just had like, I don't want to say I had a breakdown, but I kind of really felt it, because to me, I felt as though that job was going to be, I saw that job as going to be one of the vehicles to get me out of this area, because I don't live in a good area. I live in a really bad area, and I had went through a lot to get that job. So it kind of just one night just all hit me that I was just like, I just felt like, okay, I'm doing everything right according to me. I'm doing everything right. I'm not out here fucking and sucking any old nigga. I'm not out here sliding down no pole. No offense to anybody. If you're a stripper, do what you gotta do. Because at this point in life, I can fucking see why you doing it. I don't mistreat my son. I'm not a deadbeat mother. My son's father takes care of him. I don't treat people badly. I'm out here like going down the list of why I think that good things should happen to me, or why bad things should have happened to me. So when I had lost my job, it was kind of a little bit of the straw on the camel's back. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, other things not going right, but I finally accomplished something and I got this decent job or whatever. And it was like one of those jobs that you have for years and years and years. Now, don't get me fucked up. My business that I'm running, that's the business that I want to run. That is the business that I ultimately want to have an income from, a main income from. But this job was going to be one of the things that gave me stability, a safety net. You know what I'm saying? So me losing it kind of like really just hit me in the wrong spot, especially at that time, because like I said, I went through a lot. And so I had called him one of those nights or whatever, that night that I felt like I was like, going through a lot and I just needed to vent. So I had called him and I'm fucking crying and I'm going down a list of, why shit like that happens to me? Why is it that when I get something good, it just never sticks? It's kind of like everything, it's like, I don't know how to explain it. You know how they be like, black woman in the hood, collecting welfare, living in the hood, having kids, and it's kind of like, I'm not trying to be that stereotype. So why is it that everything I'm doing to not even associate myself with that type of stereotype is not working out? You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like, am I supposed to be the bitch that's in the hood, collecting welfare, having a whole bunch of fucking babies, fighting, acting all crazy? Like, is this where I'm supposed to be? That's kind of where my mind's. Of course, I know that I deserve better, but when you upset and you thinking irrational, that's one of the things that crossed my mind. Like, is there people that's supposed to be in this position? Is there people that's not supposed to do good in life? Like, that's what I was thinking, or that's how I felt. So I'm explaining all of that to him. So he's like, "Yo, you good?" I was just like, "I don't understand. I'm not a bad person. I don't do anybody wrong. I'm not out here breaking the law. I'm not a scammer. I'm not out here selling ass. I'm not out here doing this and so it just in my mind, I'm just like, why is it that every time I try to go in a direction that I feel is gonna propel me to the next level, it just does not work out? So here he go. And in my mind, even while I'm saying all of this, and he's like asking me, I'm okay. I'm kind of in my head like, yeah, he gonna use this as a little way to, whatever. Bitch. I'm fucking thirsty. So, what does he do? Exactly what I think he's gonna do. He's like, "Oh, do you need me to come over?" Mind you, it's like 11 something or 12 o'clock at night. And ain't nothing open that fucking late but the liquor store and Legs, bitch. But a liquor store in the hood be open. So I'm like, at that moment, that's when I decided, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna let him come over. I just needed comfort. I needed what do they say? A shoulder to cry on is a dick to ride on. That's exactly what I felt as though I needed, right? And mind you, y'all know, I've said it a few times, that I had, before Mr. Cancer, I went a long time without having sex. And that is because the last person I was with, I don't want to even get into that, but commitment issues, right? So I just took the time to really like detox myself from that person and whatever, try to get on my shit, P's and Q's, and try to make my situation better. So I had went and got my driver's license, I went and got my CDL permit, I made sure I got that job. I was really going to the gym like I was supposed to, clearing up my skin, minding my motherfucking business, not allowing social media to affect how I feel and my emotions or whatever, with all that police brutality and shit that we get conditioned to, and that shit puts you in a fucked up mood whether you know it or not. So I'm like, I was at the place in my life, and I'm still there, but it, you know, there's a setback because I lost my job. So I was at the place in my life where I'm like, listen, sis, you 30 years old, like, you cannot, there's not much, not to put a time on everything, because I don't feel like it's ever too late for you to get it together. But in my head, I'm like, I'm 30 years old. It has to be more to life than this. You know what I'm saying? And I want more. So that's the mind state I was in. So Mr. Cancer, I said, okay, you could come over. So he comes over, and I don't think that night we had sex. We did not have sex that night. We did some things that night, but we did not have sex. So from that day, I noticed that his focus went from having general friendly conversation with me to an infatuation with me, like physically. It was just like everything turned into sex. Everything turned into talking about that night we was together. Everything turned into, oh my God, I can't believe it was this good. And I was just like, okay, you know, I get it. I'm not cocky, but if I want to put it on you, or if I want to do something to blow your fucking mind, I'm gonna do it straight up and down. I've been around the block, up and down the block, in and out the fucking block, bitch. I'm the epitome of a black girl lost. Okay, so when I say I got experience, motherfucker, I got experience. So if I want to catch your attention sexually, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, if I want to make sure that you're pleased, if I'm going to have a sexual encounter with you, that's what I'm going to do, right? So, it kind of turned into an infatuation, and it was just like, okay, I kind of see where this is going. Like, the whole time this situation is happening, throughout everything that I'm telling you, in my head, it's like, I know where this is going, I see where this is going to end up, but let me keep going. It's kind of like, you know the danger is ahead, but you keep going, because something in you is like, I want to prove myself wrong. I want to prove myself wrong. I want to prove myself wrong. So, hold on, y'all. After that, we were still talking or whatever. And then another time he had came over, and we actually did have sex. Y'all. This nigga was like, you are the best I've ever had. Yo, you think I'm lying? I'm telling you the truth. He was like, I can't believe it. And this is that and the third. And you're so smart. You're intelligent. And you look so good. And blah, blah, blah. He could have been running game. He could have been telling the truth. I don't know. Because some niggas ain't never had it good. So, and matter of fact, that's what I did. I cooked him a meal after. So, it kind of, it's just like, after that, that's when he asked me to be his girl, right? So he asked me to be his girl. And it's like, the minute that I agreed to be his girl, he did this. It was kind of like, you my girl, I have rights to that whenever I want to, so I don't feel the need to put effort. You know what I'm saying? It's like the quality time wasn't there. We wasn't going out. He wasn't calling as much. And then when he did, it was on some trying to come over late night type of shit. I gotta leave in the morning for work, blah, blah, blah type of shit. So, I don't know about y'all. If you haven't picked up on my personality, I don't fucking bite my tongue. So, I told this nigga about himself. I'm like, well, you're not spending no quality time. Your calls is, your communication, I mean, is subpar. blah blah blah. And the reason why I feel as though, how can I say this without sounding shallow, because it's gonna sound shallow anyway. If you don't have the most money, if you don't have the so-called finer things in life, or the very basic things in life that adults should have, i.e. a job, a car, your own place, you don't have the room to slack nowhere else. Because if somebody's giving you a fucking chance, they're giving you a chance out of genuine interest. You do not possess anything that would make them say, oh, I'm gonna just talk to him. Like, how can I say, it's not like you not that nigga. You're not pushing nothing that's fantastic. You don't have the fucking best job in the world, and you're on child support, so your bread is low. You don't have your own fucking crib. As far as I'm concerned, he was renting a room out. This is what he tells me. I'm gonna tell you about this shit too. He's renting a room out from his best friend's mother. Him and his best friend, he lives in their house, and he's renting a room from them. So I'm saying all of that to say this. This man was of no benefit besides sex. And you have to give more. You do. I'm sorry. Like there's nothing. You're not looking good on my arm. You're not going out. You're not buying groceries. You're not doing none of that. What you're giving me, I can get from anybody else or from a fucking toy that I got in my top drawer. So for me to allow somebody like him to continuously come to my house when he feels like having sex, there was no, what is that doing for me? This is not doing nothing for me. I don't give a fuck how shallow it sounds. I don't give a fuck if you think I sound like a prostitute. I don't care if you think it's young-minded. You could be 40, 50-year-old woman. If you're not offering nothing more than hard dick and a fucking headache, we don't have to fucking bend over backwards for you. We don't. And it could be vice versa, but I don't date women, so I'm referring to the fucking men. So anyway, so I called him out on that. I was like, listen, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, but you study, got your tongue and your fucking dick out your pants. That's the type of time you're trying to be on. So he was like, it's not even like that, blah, blah, blah. So he has sent me a check. He has sent me a picture of his check. His check was almost $2,000. After child support, his check was $220 fucking dollars, right? You would think if you were bringing only $220 home, and you got a girl like me that you claim is so dope and so this is that, and you want to keep my fucking attention, that the least you can do is give me your fucking time. You can't pay no bills. You can't do my nails. You can't do my hair. Nigga, you could barely buy me some fucking pads. You better spend time with me, motherfucker. So it was kind of an insult, because it's like, why me and you don't have a long lasting history. We don't have that much of a history for me to be having to stick around for this shit. So it kind of got to the point where it was friction, because I was constantly telling him by himself. And let me tell you, if you're a dude and you watching this and you got a woman that's always complaining, that is her way of trying to give you a chance to fix it. Because what she's doing is complaining, and she's getting closer to the door. Complaining, and she's getting closer to the door. And then she stops complaining, and then she just walks to the door. She walks out. She don't even look back. That's it. You had your chance. You think I'm being naggy. You think I'm being this. But that is me grasping, like, hey, could you do better? Please? I like you. We don't have to do that. And we shouldn't do that, to be fucking honest. Once somebody shows you who they are, believe them and keep it moving. But we are taught to make it work. Oh, don't be a bitch. Don't be bitter. Don't be so angry. Don't be an angry black woman. So you sit there and you give chances, and you allow somebody to run over you or use your body or use you without anything in return. And I don't give a fuck what nobody's saying. Two people have to be beneficial to each other. Simple as that. So it was kind of that situation. So I had broke up with him. We ended up getting back together because he kept, not because he kept, but it was kind of like I broke up with him out of frustration. Like, we was on the phone texting, and we was going back and forth, and I just said it or whatever. So we end up kind of patching that up and then talking again. And then what was the last reason we broke up? For the same thing. We broke up for the same thing, but I can't remember the exact moment or what exactly happened that I was like, it's over. That's it, it's over. So we had broke up, and from then he kept asking to be back with me, saying sorry, trying to prove that he's doing better and blah blah blah. He wasn't really he wasn't doing anything much different. He still was trying to say little things to come over at night. I think the straw on the camel's back also was one day he was supposed to come over and we were supposed to talk. He wanted to talk about the breakup and talk about getting back together, blah blah blah. So me and my best friend she had ended up popping up at my house, and she was hungry. We was both hungry, so we ended up walking. But I already knew that he was on his way, but I didn't care that my best friend was there because in my head I had already told myself he's not gonna be able to come upstairs. You know, this nigga come upstairs. This nigga 6'6", 200 and some odd fucking pounds. Gonna start squeezing on you, rubbing on you, kissing on you, and then you no, and then it's kind of like you giving because you so aggravated, you so annoyed with them being on you. They're just like you give them pity pussy. That's what I call it. So no, I don't have to do that. No, you don't have to do that. But men don't understand. Like, women, if you are applying too much pressure and she doesn't want to do something, she'll do it. And like I said in my dating game video, it's kind of like you feel a little violated. It's kind of like, why did I even do that? I didn't want to have sex with this guy. I didn't want him in my house, and he was pressuring me, type of shit. Or he kind of put me in a position where I couldn't really say no because, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's running through your head. Some of y'all be too aggressive. Some of y'all be too hostile. Some of y'all be too much on people where it's just like, okay. And it's not even an enjoyable moment. Hold on, y'all. With my son's father. Nigga. So, that's what I didn't want. So when my best friend came in, it kind of was like a bit of a relief. So he comes and he sees that I'm with my best friend. His whole demeanor was off. Because he has saw us like a little bit by the shopping area by me. So we both get in the car. He drops me off and he was like, oh, do you want to stand right here with your friend and then I go find parking? This is his words. So I said, okay. He calls me. Mind you, he came over here to talk. He calls me. He was like, oh, they just called me in for work. I gotta go, blah, blah, blah. I don't know who this nigga thought he was fooling. Bitch, I was like, you fucking whack. You was a whack ass nigga. You saw that I had somebody over here and you wasn't gonna be able to come upstairs and try to fucking finesse your way and sweet talk your way into some fucking pussy. So you fucking left. That's exactly what the fuck that's about. So I had ripped him a new one. And he at work. No, it's not like that. I said, listen, you at work. Don't stress while you at work. It's over between us anyway. So enjoy your night, my dude. Like, the fuck? So he texted me. So it hits like 4:30 in the morning. Supposedly he off for work. Oh, that's another thing. He had a second job as a bouncer. Supposedly. And he's off work. He parks like in front of my building but a little further up, and apparently he parked there and he went to sleep because he was calling me and I didn't pick up for an hour and a half, y'all. I wake up, it's 5:30 or something like that, or 6 o'clock. I can't fucking remember. I see missed calls from this nigga. I'm like, what's up? He was like, oh, you home? Yeah, the fuck? You see what time it is? He was like, oh, I had parked my car and fell asleep, but I was calling you, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, if you don't take your fucking goofy ass home. Anyway. We ended up talking. I went downstairs and I got in his car. Look at the super. He better not be being nosy. What if I would have said that? He would have looked up. Anyway, so I had got in his car. We was talking, and he was just like, "Oh, I just want you to believe me when I say that I'm really trying, and I'm trying to get the situation handled with my daughter's mother, and blah blah blah." And I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't. I just at this point, it's not that I don't have sympathy for guys who are on child support, because I personally know firsthand how that shit hurts. But it kind of was like he wasn't really doing nothing to rectify the situation. Like he didn't go to court and ask for a modification. He didn't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like it is what it is type of situation. And it's like, you didn't even try. You are being left with $220 in your fucking pocket, and you're a 31-year-old man or whatever the fuck, renting a room, and you have a job that pays a substantial amount. Motherfucker, you're a correction officer. You know how much they get paid? So anyway, and then you wasn't even making up for your lack of funds or the ability to take me out or court me with quality time. You wasn't even spending quality time. It's not like he hit me up and said, "Oh, let's go to the gym together, let's go for a walk together, let's go to," but there's plenty of fucking free things you could do. So I'm not even here for it. I'm not here for it. So anyway, we was talking, and then I just decided that was it. That was gonna be the, we broken up. But he would still text me or call me here and there. And then what ended up happening? One day I was at one of my other best friend's house. She lives a little further from me, so it was kind of late, and I was drinking, and my neck. I had already knew one of the guys that was over there was gonna put me in a cab because he liked me, but Mr. Cancer hits me up. So I'm like, what did I say? He hits me up and he was like, "Oh, I just got off of work. You home?" I was like, "I'm at my best friend's house. Can you come pick me up and take me home?" He said, "How long you gonna be there?" I said, I just asked you a question." He's like, "No. Matter of fact," he was like, "How long you gonna be there?" I was like, "Are you gonna pick me up? Yes or no?" He goes, "I asked you a question." I said, "I asked you a fucking question too." So then he goes, "You asking for girlfriend privileges and we broken up." Mind you, he said that to me because he would ask to come over, or he'll ask for a hug or a kiss or whatever, and I'd be like, "You asking for boyfriend privileges and we are not together." So he tried to use that on me. But here's the fucking difference. This is what I said to him. I said, "You cannot use that on me. I don't do you how you do me. You cannot pull a me on me because I don't do you how you do me." I think that's what my words were. So he was like, "Oh, I just came from work. You don't even care that I just came from work," something like that. I was like, first off, I'm in my head like, what are you telling me you just came from work for? You always fucking broke anyway. And how is it that you just came from work? And I bet you're going to have the energy to drive to come to come straight to my house. And you're going to have the energy to be pumping back and forth or sweating and fucking hooting and hollering like a fucking gorilla if I want to give you some pussy, but you don't got the fucking energy to come pick my black ass up. You better fucking kick rocks and blow shoes with that bullshit. So I said, "I don't care that you just came from work anymore." I put ... anymore. If I had been your girl, I would have cared that you were tired and maybe you didn't come all the way to my Christmas. I would have been nice about it. Nah, but you could kiss my fucking black ass, nigga. So we get into it about that. I said, "See, this is the reason why we broken up, because you can't even manage to do the basics." I don't know why I said that, bitch. He called himself cursing me out. "Well, fuck you then. Fuck out of here." He was like, "I've been trying to make you my girl. I want you to be my girl again, but you don't want to be my girl. Nobody gonna force you." I put K. Period. He said something else. He was like, "K that." Okay. K. Period. You ain't got to tell me. Ain't no sweat off my back. You think, what the fuck you think is gonna happen? I'm gonna walk all the way home, my feet is gonna fucking bleed? I'm gonna have to park the red seat to go home? Nigga, I'm gonna get home. That's not a fucking problem, nigga. That shit 2 train stops away. Y'all niggas be acting like y'all really fucking doing something. But anyway, that was the last time we spoke. So I think like a week or 2 weeks had passed. And recently, here come old stupid ass hitting me up talking about, hey, I know we broken up and everything, but that time you made me the salmon, what did you season it with? My ass, nigga. Ass crumbs. Kiss my motherfucking ass. I ain't even say nothing. I ain't reply, so he put a question mark. I didn't reply again. The next day, he put, hello, good morning. The fuck I look like? Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody has a limit. Everybody has an age that they reach where things are not fucking acceptable. And 30 years old, it's my age, bitch. It ain't happening, capping. So, that's the update on, I don't know if I think I'm starting not to like this lipstick. That's the update on Mr. Cancer. He's a piece of shit. Kaki. Melda. Doodoo. Defecation. Fecal matter. Waste. Thanks for watching and subscribe.